Welcome back, college football fans, to the Touchdown Black and Go vlog. This is my reaction and recap to Iowa's dominant win last night, 41-3 at home over the visiting Minnesota Golden Gophers. With the win, Iowa improves to 6-2 overall, 4-1 in Big Ten play, while Minnesota drops to 5-3 overall, 3-2 in Big Ten conference play. Now, my initial comments on this game: with the victory, Iowa retains the Divine Swine Trophy. The Floyd of Rosedale will remain in Iowa City for at least one more season. Iowa has now won 10 out of the last 11 matchups straight up against the Golden Gophers. And PJ Fleck, this is now his 8th season at the helm of the Golden Gopher program. He now is, actually, it's his 9th year. He is now 1-8 straight up against Coach Kirk Ferentz and the Iowa Hawkeyes. And wow, my last remark before I break this matchup down, what we saw play out on the field is, with this victory, Iowa, it now sets up a huge matchup in a couple weeks, because now everything is right in front of Iowa for the taking. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your usual host, Blair Parks. Happy Sunday morning to you and yours. If this is your first time joining me here in the Touchdown Black and Go vlog, I always ask for, welcome, and want your participation. I love to hear from you, Hawkeye fans, Golden Gopher fans, and all you college football fans. Please get involved, participate, blow up that comment section below in response to anything that I present, or if there's something that I forgot or you would like to add. Please, I cannot wait to hear from you, because without you, none of this is possible. So please, comment, like, share, rate, and please click that notification button and subscribe to help the channel grow. And anything you are able and willing to do, it is much appreciated for me, for the channel, and what a pleasure it is to be here with you, sharing my love and passion for all things college football. All right. Wow, what a game. I mean, I did not see this coming. I mean, the line itself, it was prior to kickoff, the line dropped. Iowa was favored by 8 at home. I thought that was maybe a little much, to tell you the truth. I definitely expected this to be a much more competitive game, but wow, the first half, everything went Iowa's way. I mean, they ended up scoring basically in every facet that you could. Rushing touchdown, passing touchdown, a defensive score, a pick six, and also a kick return by the stud Caden Weegan, which I'm going to talk about him here a little bit later this episode. And I did tag Minnesota fans. Please get involved. I want to hear from you as well. What was your take on the game? Can't wait to hear from you. All right, so breaking this game down, I mean, it's really unfortunate, because right now Iowa does have a bye week, and it's kind of unfortunate, but yet perfect timing, because here they are, Iowa is playing their best football of the entire season, all right? And Minnesota had been playing very well up to this point as well, and I think they are playing, overall, they're kind of maybe playing above the expectations for Minnesota this season. I think this young freshman quarterback, Drake Lindsey, I mean, he has a lot of potential, but he really just walked into an absolute snake pit yesterday in Kinnick Stadium. A 2:30 kickoff. The crowd is rabid. They're right on top of you. They're ready to explode. It was just a difficult situation for this young quarterback, but that is how you learn and progress. So I do think moving forward, Minnesota will be in good hands with this young quarterback if he ends up staying in the program, because now that's always a possibility now in this age of the transfer portal. If I ain't starting, I'm departing, and that's unfortunate anymore. But so Iowa heads into a bye week playing, I mean, they're just rolling right now. And this is probably the best game that I have seen Iowa play in all areas, in all facets. I'm talking offense, defense, special teams. It was a complete team dominant effort. I mean, everything was just clicking. I mean, every piston was firing right in time. Probably the best game I've seen them play as a team going back to maybe the 2021 season, when with that red hot start when they defeated a ranked Indiana team and Michael Penix Jr. and then went on the road to defeat a top 10 Iowa State team in Ames, and then that epic victory between number 3 and number 4 Penn State, where Iowa was able to knock them off. And then it kind of went off the rails there a little bit, but wow, this team, I mean, playing great football right now. But I will tell you this, compared to the 21 team, which is probably the last solid Iowa team that we've ever seen this decade, this team currently has more substance. They have more to them than that team did, all right? That team had a next level elite defense. They had elite special teams, but we all know the offensive struggles that Iowa had in 21. I mean, Spencer Petras, who he was public enemy number 1 there for forever, but I think when it came down to the Deacon Hill regime and the Cade McNamara regime, we were all begging for Spencer Petras to still be with us. And I can't forget his replacement, Alex Padilla. I mean, so Iowa's offense was challenged, and this offense is absolutely much better than that. The defense is playing top level, not quite elite, but they are a top 10 defense, and the special teams, solid as always. So I am really, really excited for what the rest of the season holds for the Hawkeyes. All right, so looking at this game, breaking it down, it's really difficult to find something that maybe Iowa could have improved upon. Minnesota, I mean, just was a tough way to start that first quarter. Basically, the game was over. It just was. The 3 stars, as far as the 3 stars from this game, I'm going to start off with the Iowa offensive line. I mean, once again, they're just grading people. I mean, especially in run blocking assignment, they're absolutely opening up holes. I mean, the Iowa rushing attack accounted total, it was 133 yards rushing for Iowa on 36 attempts. The leader was Kamari Moulton, 15 carries for 75 yards, good enough for 5 yards a clip per carry. That's getting it done. So when you see 133 yards, that doesn't yell, oh my gosh, it's one-sided, but still, I mean, there was plenty of carries for this Iowa offense. And this is really still the recipe for what Iowa wants to do offensively. First and foremost, control the line of scrimmage and just get that experienced veteran offensive line to get their mojo going, okay? So the Iowa rushing attack, solid performance. The offensive line, great. Especially this game, Minnesota, I believe, registered 2 sacks total. Yep, 2 sacks for the Minnesota defense. When the week before, the Friday night game up in the Twin Cities, which was Minnesota's best game of the season to date, I believe they recorded 8, maybe 9 sacks against Dylan Raiola and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So great response. Great game prep for the Iowa O-line. Very, very impressive what they did. And that's something else we're saying. This Minnesota team absolutely was coming in red hot. I mean, off the heels of their best game of the year, they came in with a 3-1 record as well in conference play, and Iowa really just never gave them an opportunity. They couldn't even get their foot in the door. I mean, it was never open, so I can't say it was slammed. It was never even cracked, okay? So the Iowa O-line, great job there. The Iowa defense, looking like the defense of old. They forced 3 turnovers on the game, 3 interceptions from Drake Lindsey. I mean, Drake Lindsey's numbers, when we look at the quarterbacks, Drake was 16 of 28 passing for 109 yards, no touchdowns to those 3 interceptions. So just a tough position, a tough spot for this young quarterback. Mark Gronowski for the Iowa Hawkeye QB. I mean, these numbers, once again, don't jump off the page, but then again, all it does is scream game manager. And I really hate how that term is used as in a negative way. I mean, yeah, the guy may not be sexy or flashy. I get that. But being a game manager, what does that really mean? It means all you do is win games. You make good decisions and you do what you need to do to help your team win, and you don't put your team in bad spots or a bad position. So if he wants to be a game manager and keep winning football games, hey, I'm not offended at all if anybody wants to call Mark Gronowski a game manager. But his numbers on the night, he was 12 of 19 for 135 yards passing, 1 touchdown to 0 picks, and he also had 1 rushing touchdown as well. I mean, he just keeps on doing what he does. He is in perfect control of this offense, which we're Iowa. We don't need a quarterback to throw for 300 yards a game. I mean, we'll absolutely take that, but it's not a requirement. We don't have to have a quarterback who also throws 3 touchdown passes a game, because that's not something that has been proven that we must have to win games. It has to be a balanced offense, and just don't make those mistakes. Just keep the chains moving, live to fight another day if it doesn't go your way during that possession, and pick it up later. And this guy is a gamer. He's a winner. He has absolutely bought into the Iowa way. Second star for Iowa, I mean, well, their defense, but the third star, I mean, I'm going to say this right now, okay? Caden freaking Weegan. I'm trying to keep this PG-13, so I didn't want to drop an F-bomb there. But once again, this guy is an absolute spark plug. He is instant offense. He is like a train wreck happening in front of your eyes in a good way. I mean, maybe that's not a great correlation to make, but just the point being, you can't take your eyes off of him. I mean, being at the game 2 weeks ago against Penn State when I was there with the family, every time that he was out there for a kickoff or a punt return, everybody was on their feet, eyes wide open, mouths just drooping, because you have to watch him. And that is what he can do for this Iowa team. He makes things happen. And yesterday was same old, same old. He had his second punt return on the season against another big-time foe. And it's really time that this guy starts to get some Heisman love. I know some of you might be saying, whatever, you're Iowa. And I get it. I know what the Heisman Trophy award has become. Basically is to the best player on the best team or teams. I get that. But this guy, he is absolutely, if anyone is going to sit here and say he's not one of the 10 or 5 best players in college football, then I can't help you. I mean, you're just either living your glass house or you're just being a homer. All right. Let me just share with you Caden Weegan's numbers on this season alone. So right now, this season as a man, he has been more involved in Tim Lester's offense this season, so he is getting a few more touches a game as a wide receiver, but it's not like he's catching 4 or 5 balls a game or doing 2 or 3 end rounds. But this is what he's got going right now. I mean, this season, he's had 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown as a tight end, and he has 3 kick returns. 2 of the 2 punt returns and 1 kickoff return. I mean, so he has accounted for 6 touchdowns, and he is a special teams expert. Okay, this guy has got to start getting into the Heisman conversation. And if he returns 1 more kick, whether it be punt or kick return, I think at that point you maybe can say he's going to be one of the finalists or the first 1 or 2 individuals out. And I do think he will return at least 1 more kick this season. He's got to start getting some Heisman love and pub. He just does. Okay? So I'm starting it, Weegan for Heisman. Let's get it going now, Hawk fans. So that was my third star for the game. I also want to mention place kicker Drew Stevens, who has been a little bit shaky this season at times. Great showing for him. He was 2 for 2 with field goals along of 46, and he was 5 of 5 with extra points. So definitely want to keep this young man's confidence way up here. So great job for the Iowa kicking game. Caden Weegen, the defense with 3 big turnovers, including a pick 6 for Lutmer, I believe. Zach Lutmer was the one who had that pick 6 in that second half. And the Iowa offensive line. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. When you look at the team stats, I mean, it's kind of almost a wash. I mean, the big difference was those 3 turnovers and the special teams touchdown, and one of those defensive turnovers being a score as well. But when you look at the team stats, like I said, very close. Total first downs, 10 for Minnesota to Iowa's 13. Third down efficiency, Minnesota 4 of 13, Iowa 4 of 12. Passing yards, very close there, 109 to 141. So advantage Iowa, but doesn't jump off the page. But rushing yards, here's the big discrepancy. Only 24 yards allowed by the Iowa defense against this Minnesota rush attack. And that really is what they wanted to establish as well. These two teams mirror each other so much. And Iowa just shut down the Minnesota rushing attack. Iowa said 133 rushing yards. Time of possession, I mean, fairly close. 27 minutes for Minnesota to Iowa's 33. It just really came down to what I said, the turnovers and the big plays. That's really it. All right. So where these teams go from here, Minnesota, they return home this weekend coming up against Sparty and Michigan State, a team that is really, really struggling. I do expect Minnesota to come back and get the dub at home. And I think Jonathan Smith, I think he's going to probably leave Michigan State and maybe head back to the Pacific Northwest to take the reins as the Oregon State head coach once again, since their coach has been fired. So, I do expect Minnesota to bounce back fairly well. And Minnesota fans, if you're watching this, I am a big PJ Fleck guy. Ever since he joined the league 9 seasons ago, I have said I would love to see this individual on the sidelines inside Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. I would be totally fine with that. All right. So I've got nothing but respect for PJ Fleck and the Minnesota program. I just hope he stays. All right. I think PJ Fleck, his job is safe. And his seat's not even lukewarm. All right. It's safe. I think he can stay there as long as he wants. But when the UCLA job came open 2 years ago, he did express interest in potentially wanting that gig out there in Westwood and SoCal. And it's going to be open this offseason potentially. But I really think PJ Fleck would do an excellent job down south in Stillwater as the head coach of Oklahoma State. I think his brand of football would really do well down there in the Big 12 for the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. So that's where Minnesota goes. Iowa, I mentioned they head into a bye week. Once again, at the perfect time, but maybe not because they're rolling, they're red hot. But now a huge matchup sets up for 2 weeks from now when number 6 Oregon, who got the win last night, 21-7. I mean, kind of in a sloppy game against Wisconsin. They got the W. They come into Kinnick Stadium, and this is why it's such a huge opportunity for Iowa. If Iowa wins that game, all right, then you can start to maybe even say Iowa potentially could play themselves in to a at-large spot for the college football playoff. And I am not joking. I know some of you might be saying, yeah, whatever, Iowa playoff team. And as of right now, they're not. They're 2 losses, though, to 2 very good teams. Now, the loss to Iowa State week 2 doesn't look as good now. Iowa State has now lost 3 in a row. They're going the wrong way, but it was still 16-13 in a rivalry game. And their second loss of the season, I mean, to a team you might heard of, a team that's basically won by 50 points again yesterday, the Indiana Hoosiers, who I think their margin of victory is like 33 points. It's ridiculous. And Iowa, far and away, gave them the best game and challenge of the entire season. Indiana beat Iowa in Kinnick Stadium 20-15. But that game was tied early in the fourth quarter, 13-13. Iowa had their chance. So their 2 losses are not bad. All right. And this is an Indiana team, to me, that still had the best win of the entire season by winning 30-20 against Oregon in Eugene. And don't forget, that game, Indiana gave up a pick 6, and I believe they also missed a field goal. So Iowa gave the Hoosiers everything they could handle and more. All right. So if Iowa can get the Oregon game done, if they win out, if they win out 10-2, they're going to be in the playoff. But if they're able to get that big victory and then maybe lose one more game, and I do think Iowa will lose one more game someplace, whether if it's Oregon in a couple weeks and then at USC, maybe at Nebraska, I think they will at least lose one more game. But if they can defeat that Oregon team, then they absolutely are in that CFP race, no doubt. So a huge matchup coming up. Can't wait for 2 weeks from now. Wish I had tickets, but I'm not the guy who's going to spend $250 to go watch Iowa. Hopefully get the dub over the visiting Ducks. All right, anything else? I think that's really about it. Thank you for your time, your attention. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's a little bit overcast, rainy here in the Show Me State of Missouri where I reside. But thank you for your time and your attention. And please light up the comments below. Let me know what you think. What's your observations and opinions from the game for Iowa's season to date or coming up, or Minnesota's season up to date or coming up? I can't wait to hear from all of you Gopher and Hawkeye fans and, college football fans all around the country. Please hit me up. Let me know what you think. I will be back later this week for my Week 10 preview and picks episode. So until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the upcoming work week and school week. And until next time, thank you. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, rate, because I want to find more college football fans just like you. So until next time, take care of yourself. And as always, go Hawks. See you soon.